thought they did a good job, not letting the quarterback get hit, getting the ball out of his hands pretty quick. And, in terms of adjustments, a lot of picks, a lot of rubs, and those are things we're going to see all year. So, the thing that we have to do is get back to work tomorrow, and I think our guys are excited about that. They like the win. It wasn't necessarily the type of win they wanted, but it's the one they earned. So as we look at the tape, man, we'll continue, to do the things that we need to do, and there's 9 days to our next game, so we got to prepare.
Is it fundamental things? Is it just looking at the tape, or how do you break it down when you get with your crew?
I think it's always fundamentals, right? Communication is a fundamental thing. Tackling is a fundamental thing. And look, you look at the tape to see, whether or not you can put them in better position. It always starts, with you evaluating yourself first. You ask the players to do it, but you got to do it, as a coach. So, I'll start that process as soon as I'm done with the media, and then, I'll pass it on to the guys, and we'll look at the things that could have been, like the things that were and the things that need to be, and we'll make them all better.
If you had to give a letter grade, what would you give it?
You know what? It's a C. It's passing. It's not nowhere near, what this group is capable of. But a lot of young guys saw significant playing time tonight, and I think that's the important thing. If you can get a win with guys playing and making some mistakes and understanding how those mistakes impact the bigger picture, well then we all get better.
And one of those young guys was Daniels getting the interception. How big is that to see young guys making plays like that?
I think it's always important, for young guys, to see themselves having success, right? He had a great camp. There's still a lot of things that, he's still learning along the way. But to see him get or to see him make that play, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. What we tell guys is if you're just doing your job, sometimes the ball hits you in the face. He was doing his job and the ball hit him in the face. So, kudos for him.
Does his size, are you able to use him in different spots just because of how big and long he is?
Yeah, you know what? I think on this defense, I think there's guys who have, that ability, to be a Swiss Army knife, to be able to do a lot of things. Kendall was one of them, and I thought he had a great camp. Still young, still learning, but I'm so excited about what I'm seeing from these guys, holistically. You can look at this play and that play, and maybe it doesn't always look the way you want it, but holistically and where we are, we've got a ways to go, but I'm excited about this group and the talent that's in it. There were a lot of times tonight where the line of scrimmage got changed by Tyler Lacey. Okay, he put hands on people. I thought he did a good job of making the running back go east and west, and we'll look at the tape and figure out where do we go. But Tyler Lacey, I thought, had a heck of a game.
My apologies if you've already been asked more detail about the safety, but from our viewpoint, it looked like did Tyler kind of blow up the play and then Lamont made the tackle? What did you see on that one?
Yeah, I thought I saw a knockback. I saw 2 or 3 guys, hit the running back. I thought he lost his balance, but regardless, I think those guys met him in the backfield. So, party at the running back. That was a heck of a play, and I think it was a momentum changer for us.
Did any of the struggles that you guys had tonight surprise you? I imagine you thought, hey, the back end's inexperienced, some things can maybe get exposed a little bit there. Did anything surprise you tonight?
I don't think anything really surprised me. I think, for us, you go through camp, we looked at, tackling and, the things that we needed to get better at. And, games tell you a lot, right? So I think game assessment, is really what we look at, and, we'll determine where we go from here. You scratch where it itches. You generally see the same things from week to week. You got to fix what needs to be fixed, because that's what teams will attack. Arizona State's going to look and see how they can get the ball out fast and do some of the same things that we just saw from Central Michigan. Got to have answers. So here we go.
In your first game with this group of assistant coaches being on headsets and in live bullet situations, how was the communication and all that?
I thought it was great. These guys are pros. Duff Hammer, G Rich, Joe Bob. I thought they were really good. I don't think we had like any issues. I think like one time and we had 12 guys on the field. I think Coach called timeout. Like in that particular situation, I think one of the guys looked up and didn't see the sub. We were yelling it up top, but when you're in that game atmosphere, sometimes man, it's really hard to hear. So he didn't see it, and that's unfortunate. Those are the things that you never want to see happen, but those are the things. Fortunately for us, man, we'll clean up. We'll be better. I thought there could be like more, just because like some new bodies and guys switching in and out. But like for the most part, I thought the communication was really good, and I thought guys made good adjustments.
Do you determine who's in the booth with you? Or
Yeah.
was that, I guess, what went into the decision to have Hammer up there? Because I think last year he was on the field.
Well, like Hammer's involved in special teams too, and so I think the idea of those guys being involved with special teams and having teams down there, it's much easier to have like some of the assistants and GAs and QCs up like with me. I mean, I don't need a lot of talking on the headsets. Like what I need to know is the information, down the distance, play, like what happened. And I think the way it's structured now, like at least for me as a play caller, it's going to be real helpful, because I think all those guys are really good in their rooms, and I think the adjustments as we move forward will be like significant, just in terms of how fast they can get their guys in communication and how effective they can be in terms of getting that done.
So do you have more guys?
It's same number of guys, just different experience. Okay, just different experience. I like where we're at. Like Mike Hunter was up last year, so he's up. Travis, Britt, is up, and Travis has done a terrific job. Travis has had his own room before, and then really Bradley Thomas, who I think is exceptional. Bradley, did a terrific job. Just down distance personnel. I mean, I go back and look, and I think a lot of times we were spot on, just execution. Okay, we just got to execute a little better, and this game, football's a game of inches, so it doesn't take much.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.